Hi, I'm John. This is my show, An American Scheme, where I'm proving that Diana Ross is Michael Jackson's actual mother. So I've been trying to have just a simple conversation with Michael Trapson about Michael Jackson. It's like, okay, you would think Michael Trapson, being the person he is, that he'd be willing to have a conversation about Michael Jackson, like regardless of how the conversation's going to develop and what we're going to talk about. It's like, dude, if you've watched any of my work, I'm constantly talking about Michael Jackson. Like, look at how many videos I've got, all of the information, what I've got. And it's like, Michael Trapson can't have a conversation with me about Michael Jackson? It's just weird. It's one of these things that's weird. And like me, when I'm judging Trapson, it's like, okay, Trapson, you're weak, you're fake, all of that stuff. And because you're so weak and you're fake, you're afraid of being exposed by me. And what happens is you're actually afraid to deal with reality. Okay? Now you're willing to use drugs and go off into a crazy mystical land and stuff and think that you've experienced more than what you've actually experienced. But the real world is you're going to be sober. Like next week, you're going to be sober. The week after that, you're going to be more sober. Like, you'll smoke weed and shit, right? But you can't stay under this kind of a high. This is not the world that what you're going to live in. The reality is you're going to get back into the real world. You're going to be sober. You're going to transition further and further away from this experience of what you think you've experienced here. And what I'm going to show you here is that when you look on, if I'm looking at your life, 20 years in the future and 30 years into the future, the way I'm gonna play your video right here, but I'm gonna slow it down because I'm gonna show you that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you that your world of all the things that you're gonna experience and stuff, it's more like this slowed down version. It's more like a destructive thing. It's a negative experience of what you're gonna go through. So first of all, I wanna say, Trapson, to you is that I don't think I've ever used your content in this direct way where I'm like flat out using all of your content. So now for the fair use laws, the rules and stuff, I'm not allowed to do this, okay? So Trapson, if you see this, you're totally within your means to just put a comment on my page, and you don't have to explain yourself, nothing whatsoever. All you've got to do is, like, you could just leave a simple comment and say remove it or take it down. I'll just click on that to make sure that it's your page, that comment came from you, and I will just clearly remove the video. I mean, I've removed so many things that videos I've made about you. It's no big deal. I'm not here trying. I'm like, my page is monetized, but I would never monetize. I've never monetized any video that I have that has any of your work in it. I don't monetize. Like, if you would say like I'm eating off you, I'm not eating off you. I never made $1 off you. I would never monetize any video that I use. Like, even if I just have a small clip of something, if I have a video, if I use somebody else's copyrighted material, I will not monetize that video. I don't ever. And I don't like monetizing some videos anyways, because it has commercials and shit, right? So I don't like doing that. But like I said, on this video, you're totally, now Trapson, like the one thing, the biggest reason I do have one thing that I've gained respect for you is that you never complained to YouTube about any of the videos I made about you. That's the only thing that's one thing where it's like, because if you're looking for the positive in somebody, it's like, I'll straight, and I don't mind telling you. It's like, dude, you never complained to YouTube. I never had any problems with YouTube because of any video that I made about you. So it's like, that's one thing that's like, I do have respect for you and the encounters that we have what in dealing with you, even though you won't deal with me. You've put some comments on my videos and you've talked about me, and I actually know that you actually have a great deal of respect for me, Trapson, which is why you're afraid of me. Because remember that one time when Lynx and you guys were all hanging out there with your MJ Avengers, and Lynx made the joke, he says, my favorite YouTuber is An American Scheme. And then you, Trapson, said, oh man, you just gave him enough material to make 10 videos. And now, see, I hear what you just said, and I understand. What you just said, Trapson, by saying that is that you understand that I'm capable of making like all kinds of videos. I could take the littlest piece of something and turn it into like this crazy video, and I could come at you in all kinds of different ways. I have different angles. I can play different angles. I'm smart enough to be creative and come up with content and stuff. And so I know that you respect me in a way, even if you won't admit it to yourself. When you said that, I know that actually what you did is you showed a great deal of respect for me, and actually you're fearful of my intelligence and my abilities and shit. You're actually afraid of me and shit, right? It's like, dude, Trapson, what are you afraid of, dude? I'm just cool, dude, fucking wanting to have a conversation with you about Michael Jackson. I don't understand. And it's like, dude, we don't need to do it on YouTube. I just like fucking pick up a phone, let's have a conversation. That's it. Come on, with nothing, no need to be afraid of anything like that, because nobody's going to be recording anything, and, you know, whatever. And if you tell me, like, okay, we'll have a conversation, but I don't want you to discuss it with anybody, that's cool. If it's fucking off the record, it's off the record. I'm cool with that and shit. I just want to have a conversation with you. It's like, that's all there is to it. And it's one of these things that's like, because you're afraid to have that conversation, the reason you're afraid is because you're afraid to actually deal with the reality of what I'm going to show you. And I think kind of, you can sense that there's something real about me, but you're afraid of it and shit, right? But the reason here, like what you're showing here, and what I'm going to show you is that, like, I'm going to make this video more like that you've fallen for Satan's trick, where you thought that you were being enlightened and stuff. And what I'm going to show you this video is like, okay, imagine seeing this, like looking at your life like 20, 30 years in the future, and looking at all the destruction that has occurred. And you could say that your destructive path started upon at this moment. This was the beginning of the destruction of your life, instead of this is the beginning of the creation of your new life, where, you know, because you're like saying how you're reborn and all this stuff. But the two words of what you said here, that it's like, boy, you're making a big mistake. When you say I surrender, now I understand about going with the flow. You want to, when you get into an experience like this, you want to let it flow through you, and you want to go on the journey. But when you use the word surrender, I surrender, that's wrong. That was a wrong word to use. And then the other thing is, you were saying about like something about life, and I'll play this, it'll come up, and it'll say, you were talking about enjoying life. You're not here to, that's a thing about where people, they want to have a good life, right? Okay, that's Satan's trick. That's Satan's trick, because what happens is, we're in hell. Satan is the master of this realm down here. And when you say Satan, it's like people think, oh, it's fire and brimstone. It's like, it's not like that and shit, right? Satan's a god. Satan was an angel in the presence of God. Satan is supposed to be like really good at music and stuff like that. So it's Satan is like, Satan can be beautiful, and Satan can be kind. And it's like, one of the things I say is that, like, Satan is the one that comes up and says the words like, you're beautiful, you know, everything's okay, and you're smart, and, you know, enjoy this life, everything's beautiful. Those are Satan's words, because God doesn't talk like that. God's got no time to fucking baby talk you. God's trying to turn you into a god. God's not going to baby talk you into being a god. God's going to be direct with you. God's going to be, shut the fuck up, you stupid motherfucker. You need to start figuring shit out, or fuck you. That's the way God is. God's going to be like, I'll move on without you. I don't fucking need you. But Satan needs you, because Satan is not God. There's a God. The only thing that gives Satan is Satan's power is that Satan is in control of, Satan needs all these people. That's why, like these losers who need all these material objects. You've got to live your life, you gain material objects, and you think that validates you. It doesn't. But that's how it works with Satan. Satan feels if he can get these souls on his side, he thinks it validates him and makes him greater than God. It will never be that way. He'll never be God. It's just not real. And so that's what I'm saying. When you're saying enjoy your life, it's like, dude, okay, that's what I'm showing. Is like, when I see this video, I'm looking at it like from 20, 30 years in the future. And I'm looking back upon this video and showing you that this is the beginning of the destruction of the life that you're going on. The journey that you're going on now is going to lead to a lot of destruction. And it's like, just simple things. It's like, you're talking about enjoy your life. Okay, well, when your father passes away, like, for all I know, he could have passed away already and stuff, right? But so when your father passes away, dude, you're not going to be enjoying that shit. That's not to be enjoyed. That's to be experienced and dealt with so you can become stronger and stuff. But it's going to hurt. If you get married and you have a kid, and let's say the kid fucking has cancer, are you going to be saying here, though, I'm here just to enjoy my life? Oh, sorry, kid, that you got cancer, but I got to go out and enjoy my life and shit. It's not what life is about. Life's gonna be fucked up. What about when, like, the next disease comes and like look at, like, the way the virus is now. Imagine if you were, like, seeing the massive destruction where people were just dying all around and shit. Or you're gonna be sitting back saying, oh, but I'm gonna enjoy my life, you know, I'm not gonna worry about that because I'm here to enjoy my life. It's like, that's not what life is about. And so when you're talking about surrendering in this video and talking about enjoying your life, I'm seeing that as like, dude, you're falling for Satan's tricks. That's what Satan wants you to do, is Satan wants you to like being down here and think that, why do I need to return back to heaven? Because I've got everything I need here. Everything here is what I need. But it's not. What you need is to evolve past this. You got to evolve past these worldly desires and the things of what you can be given here and the experiences of what you can experience here. It's still just what you're experiencing here. And you think you're in contact, but you're not. God has separated us from his world. What you're going to experience here, now, it's like, it's tricky shit. Now, I understand, like, there's the God and the stuff, but the reality is you're here. You're here. Doesn't matter what your mind, like, people think they astro project, they'll say stuff like that. It's like, dude, I don't give a fuck about what you think you fucking experienced and what you did. Your body, that is who you are and the life of what you know right now and it was here. It was still here. It was on earth. You were breathing. You have a body. That's the life of what you are. It was always right here. And God is not here. God does not work that way. God is not here in that way. God does nothing for us here. We can't experience what it's like to be with God. Not here. This is not what we're doing here, is we're experiencing what it's like to be out of the presence of God. That's what we are doing here. And now, if you're satisfied with this world of which you are out of the presence of God, all I could do is tell you that's the wrong journey. It's the wrong path. You went down the wrong way. And so I'm going to play this for you, and I'm going to do it in slow-mo, so I'm going to play the whole thing. And so when you see it in slow-mo and you look at more like you're a Satan worshiper, like this was not an enlightening moment for you to connect to God. What you did is you surrendered and you gave your life to Satan so that you could live a happy life. That's the way I see it. Now, you're not seeing it right now, but like, I'm 49 years old, so I can see much further, like in the future, and I can see the vision of being in the future and looking back upon this moment. And so here we go. I'm going to go ahead and play this because it's going to take a few minutes and shit. But like I said, Trapson, I'm trying to just have a conversation with you. But this video, this is your video. You totally have the right just to tell me to remove it. That's it. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to have a conversation with me. I'm not holding you ransom. There's no catch-22 here. I totally admit, this is your work. I'm not allowed to use your work in the way of which I'm going to use it right here, because the thing is, I'm using it all, basically. I'm not technically allowed to do this. I'm not making money off it. I'm not monetizing it. But technically, you have rights as being in copywriting stuff. And like I said, I respect that stuff. This is your material. I'm technically not even allowed to do it this way if you choose to not allow me to do it. Like, you know, I use music videos and I use stuff like that, but then those people put a copyright claim and they take ownership basically of the video and stuff, right? But if they wanted to put strikes on me and do shit, like, they could too. But that's what I'm saying with you. I understand. This is your material. I'm not trying to use it in a way that's like, I'm not trying to take your material. So you totally have the right. Just tell me, take it down, and it's done and shit, right? But so here, I want to show you this to you. I want to play this video and then just let you know that it's like, I see this as a form of somebody who has surrendered to Satan, and this is much more of a devil worship video than being close to God video.
Oh no, come back. So attached to this physical world that you've forgotten who you are. You've given yourself this this is just your physical avatar, man. Pretty cool. You take yourself so serious. Did you forget this is all just one big game? Have fun. Those things you call your problems are not you just choose them You've given things way too much Consider this your rebirth and reminder to live in the present moment and appreciate every single second granted by the divine. Your experience here